dedicated to him in 1909, but when he came here in the late 1800s, or the early 1800s, I'm sorry, he was a early French missionary who taught Christianity to the natives. Now, the wigwam-like figure up here, or the missionary bark chapel as it's called, is something that we believe he would have practiced his teachings in, as well as on top of the hill is Fort Mackinac. Whoa, Cody, get up! Come on! Apparently we are the slowest team today. They're pretty lazy. Should have seen me trying to get them dressed this morning. They didn't want to get out of bed. Now we are on Market Street. Now this first building, the American Fur Company retail store. Now during the fur trading business, retail store was the general merchandise store. And the reason it is the Beaumont Museum now is because when it was the general store, a man by the name of Alexis St. Martin was accidentally shot in the stomach while in the store. He was an English merchant, and the fort physician at the time, Dr. Beaumont, came down from Fort Mackinac and performed surgery, saving Alexis St. Martin's life. Now, the wound in his stomach never completely healed shut. It was actually about the size of a $50. And through this hole, Dr. Beaumont was able to perform over 250 experiments and give us the insight on how the digestive process works today. Now, some people wonder why Alexis didn't perform the experiments himself. I heard it's because he didn't have the guts in him. Don't worry, folks, my jokes get worse. Now, to the left here, we have the Veterans Memorial. Great salute to all the soldiers who served at Fort Mackinac. Also in this same area is the public restrooms and the drinking fountain. Now here on Mackinac Island, we do have a post office that serves the island's 525 permanent residents. They do live here year-round. However, we do not have a mail delivery service. As you notice, there are still house numbers. That is for emergency purposes only. Now, the Stewart House City Museum on the right, and also the building next to it, the Community Hall and offices. These are the headquarters for John Jacob Astor's fur trading business, and what made him so popular was the fact that he was the first self-made millionaire, annually selling $3 million worth of furs. The Community Hall is the building that he used to store his furs in. Now you can see that here on Mackinac Island we do have a courthouse and police station, and behind that is a garage. Now in the garage is where the fire truck, or the fire engine, and the police vehicles are kept. We do have about 6 Mackinac Island officers and 2 state police officers here on duty during the summer months. Also, we do have a bank or 2. There are a couple of them on the island, one of them being First National Bank. Here on our right, we have a antique carriage in front of this building, and this is the building where Mackinac Island Carriage Tours' main offices are. Also, residents such as me, or employees such as me, know that building to be the Lennox. That is where we live throughout the season. Now, in these 2 buildings is the Benjamin Blacksmith Shop and the Biddle House. If you purchase tickets to Fort Mackinac, you will also be admitted to both of these historic monuments, and the blacksmith shop does do demonstrations of metalworking. The Biddle House is said to be the oldest residency on the island, dating back to 1780, and in 1822, Edward Biddle put a down payment of $100 on it. There will be more about Edward Biddle later on in the tour. Now, Cindy's riding stables, as you can see here, that will take you on your own guided tour for horseback riding. If that's something you'd like to do. Notice how their horses are more like little ponies compared to our Belgian draft, or I'm sorry, these are Percherons. We have about 6 different types of horses on the island. Now, I hope you people like fudge, because that is why you can sample fudge from every shop on the island and end up eating 1.5 pounds. Therefore, we have the Mackinac Island Medical Center. There's an ambulance in there for emergency purposes, in case you cannot leave the fudge shop. Now, the doctor does live here year-round and is always available for appointment and emergencies. You'll notice these two green buildings. These are Victorian-style hotels, the Windsor and the Twilight. Now, prior to those buildings being here, this was the block for the island cemetery. Tourism started to get big, and they decided to move the cemetery farther back in the island and put some hotels there. They are no longer in-service hotels. They are actually housing for some of the Grand Hotel's 600 employees. The Grand Hotel is the island's largest employer, with over 600 people from 15 different countries. You notice the yellow box in front here? That is the Town Crier, the local newspaper from Mackinac Island. And that is probably your cheapest souvenir. Now, we are on Market Street, as you can see on the lamppost, and that is, during the fur trading business, this used to be the main street, but if you look straight ahead, you will notice that the water level has dropped quite a bit. Before, downtown was actually underwater. Since then, water level has dropped, and now Main Street downtown is Main Street. Now we are turning right here onto Cadott Avenue, also known as Lilac Lane. Lilac Lane, there are 68 different types of lilacs, and this Lilac Lane is part of the Lilac Festival that's going on this week. You'll notice the stables and house next to us on the right, and that is Chambers Livery. Now, the carriage that we are riding in, that is another carriage like the one we are riding in, and the taxi out in front. Those carriages were all built here, and since then, Mackinac Carriage Tours has grown quite large, and now we house fancier carriages there, such as wedding carriages. Now, in front of the Grand Cottage here, this is one of the oldest, this is said to be the oldest lilac tree on the island, dating back 150 to 200 years ago. The Grand Cottage is now used to house some of the Grand Hotel's 600 employees. One of our personal tours. Now, the Grand Cottage was the home of William Backhouse Astor, the son of John Jacob Astor. Now, John Jacob sent his son William to the island to run his fur trading business. That is said to be because John Jacob was afraid of water. Now, folks, if you think what I'm doing, driving a horse-drawn buggy, and you would like to try it out for yourself, you can go down here, and it'll be on your right, Jack's Livery Stable. They will set you up with your own personal horse and buggy, and bring you up here to Cadott Avenue and send you on your way with your own map and guided tours. Nice little thing to take a stroll with your friends, enjoy the scenery. Now, the Grand Hotel here on the island does have many restaurants. One of them in particular is the Gatehouse restaurant. What makes the Gatehouse so special is the fact that if you have a dog with you, your dog can stay and eat lunch with you, just as long as it's outside the fence. Now, here on Mackinac Island, we do have a number of churches, one of them being